Hi. Sorry, I was just trying out the other camera, like the other microphone, sorry. Hi. Fab. Yeah, I was trying to get it through on the other mic because I thought you'll hear me better than the one that we're on at the minute, but for some reason it never wants to work. Are you guys okay? I know, I'm excited to show you guys the process from the start. Just give it a second. Thank you. I finally got the chat like in the box. I'm just checking it's like visible to everyone, like readable. Amazing. And I'm looking down a lot because normally I have like my iPad up here with the chat on, but I need my reference today. I'll talk about that in a minute. Oh, there's an echo. I don't know why this is. Okay, fab. Hi. Thank you, Alex. So, the plan today is, I know some of you might have seen it on my Instagram story. I did a sketch of some dragons. I'll show you guys on screen. Oh, you can't see it with the, looks a bit weird with the drawing guide on. I don't know if you can see it. It may not focus. But this is kind of what I'm trying to scale up today. So if any of you don't know these dragons, Alex, I know you do. These are 3 dragons from, yeah, and don't mind the paint on the back of my iPad. But yeah, so these are the 3 dragons from Fourth Wing. So we've got Tairn, Sgaeyl and Andarna. So for anyone who hasn't read this book, it's one of my favourite books. It's got me back into reading again after I read Akatar. And I love dragons, and I love the dragons in it. I've been watching a lot of Game of Thrones as well recently, so I've just been really motivated to draw dragons. And I got a lovely donation to buy some new canvases, so I've got these large scale, you can't see how big it is on screen at the minute, but it's almost like my height, so we're going to go big with this one. Yeah, I'm really excited. I'm going to try, I think I'm going to go with like an all black and white colour palette and try that out. I actually have a gorgeous reference image, but I don't know if it's on here. Let me check for you guys. I don't think I saved it on here. I'll get that up at some point. But yeah, so basically what I've been doing, you can see I've started gridding out the canvas today, and let me show you guys. So essentially on Procreate you can create, well, you can add, if you go to your settings and canvas, you can add a drawing guide to it. So that's basically what I've done today. I don't know if you can read that, but yeah, it's not very focused. But there's a setting called drawing guide, and I've basically put that on today. I've measured it out, and then I've scaled it up to the size of the canvas. So the main aim today is to draw this sketch out with the use of a grid. It's called the grid method. I don't know if anyone's used it before or anyone studied art, but we call it the grid method. And essentially I'm going to be zooming in on these different tiles and trying to mimic it on a larger scale. Okay. Which will probably come with its challenges. I think the reason why I do it this way is because drawing a design at such a large scale is really hard because you're so close to it. So trying to get an understanding of the composition, the scale, it is kudos to anyone who can do it really quickly. But essentially, yeah, I find this method a lot easier because I get to see the composition, and it's a lot less stressful because I don't have to keep erasing areas away because I can draw it out digitally. I've got an undo button, which is fabulous, and an eraser, a digital eraser, so I'm not mucking up the canvas too much as well, which is fab. Yeah, so I think I'm kind of procrastinating starting now. I think I'm going to, obviously for you guys, I'm going to start off with this row here, and I may need to adjust the camera angle as I go. But yeah, I'm scared. So it's actually going to be I'll maybe start with this tile here with Tairn's eye. Now I might try and zoom in a little bit for you guys and get as focused as possible. Whew, here we go. I'm actually really nervous. So let's have a go. Let's just go for it, shall we? Now I'm kind of starting off here with his eye, which is quite stressful, but it is a key feature, so it'll kind of give me an understanding of where everything is. And I don't know if you guys can see it on here, but it's quite centralized to that grid, so I can kind of just, and now it's never going to be like a photographed example, you know, I'm going to go in and I'm going to make errors, but this essentially is just for an understanding of where everything is before I paint it. So it's not highly detailed, it's not a highly detailed sketch, you don't really need that. It's mainly just kind of outlines of where shadow and light are going to go. So if you wanted to be really precise, you could measure every tiny bit of it and try and scale it up that way, but I'm not going to be doing that today. Drawing the grid was difficult enough. I'm not a mathematician. I do art for a reason. Yeah, I got really stressed today when I was trying to draw out this grid. I ended up measuring it wrong the first time. Stupid, like dumb moment. I measured it wrong. And then, yeah, everything was, I had to, you can probably see it, like, no, you actually won't be able to see it on the angle there, but you can see areas where I've rubbed off the guide, which is quite funny. Let's see. And again, just remember, if you're ever doing this method yourself, it's not about detail, it's just about understanding where to place like the anatomy, the key features. So again, it's not going to be a really detailed piece today. But yeah, I'm really obsessed with Fourth Wing. I am going through a bit of a rut at the minute, reading wise, I think because it's just been a really long term in work. So I just feel too tired to read at the minute. And when I'm reading, I really need to focus, otherwise I just stop blaring the lines together and things like that. And it's a book I really like as well. I'm only halfway through the second one, and I just really want to enjoy it. Yeah, it is just getting those key features in, isn't it? But yeah, I've also been watching Game of Thrones. I'm on season 2 at the minute. I don't know if we've got any Game of Thrones fans that watch. It's like the 3rd time I've watched it, to be honest, so. But I've not, yeah, Khaleesi's got her dragons at the minute, and it makes me really excited to draw dragons. Right, let's try this nose area. But yeah, for anyone who hasn't read Fourth Wing, so these characters are from that. Sorry, I keep trying to keep getting the iPad in front of the drawing. For anyone who hasn't read it, it's basically it starts off with this character called Violet, and she basically is in training to become a dragon rider, which is really cool. So it's about her journey through becoming a dragon rider and, you know, studying all aspects of that, and they're kind of like the military force within this series, and they ride dragons, so it's quite cool. If I do go quiet, it's just because I'm concentrated. See? I think I drew this a little bit wrong, but it's okay. I'm gonna go with an eye there, so I can already start to see. Oh, do you know what I've just went to do again? I talked about this last week. I've just went to try and zoom out. It's really embarrassing. Let's go with that there. And then this was supposed to go here, but I got distracted. And I'm just going to make that a little bit more rounded. Now, sometimes when you are painting with pencil underneath, it can get a little bit smudged and kind of muck the painting. So depending on your style of painting, drawing it out may not be the best, but I apply the paint quite thickly, and it tends to be fair, it normally washes away the paint as well. Just keep an eye on that, being focused. Now this part I think is really key to like take your time with getting the drawing correct, because it's just going to cause you so much issues down the line if you don't. Okay, I keep getting confused thinking that this is the grid line here, but it's just the bridge of the nose. So the bridge of the nose basically comes about there. Just going to put a bit of a guideline there. But yeah, I'm now on half term, so I've got a little bit of time, so I'm probably going to stream again through the week this week, which will be nice. Let's go maybe there. Now when these canvases arrived, I was so excited because I love painting large scale. I don't know what it is about it. It just looks so impactful. But yeah, this character that I'm drawing right now is he's called Tairn. I think I'm pronouncing his name right. I always pronounce fantasy names wrong, and then I'll speak to maybe like another fan and they're like, you've been saying it wrong the whole time. I know when I was reading A Court of Thorn and Roses, I kept calling a character that's Rysand. I called him Rysand. So yeah. But I know I've seen some authors will actually show you the pronunciation of the names in the book at the start now, which is really, really good. Well, for people like me, that I just say words how I see them. So fantasy names always throw me off. But yeah, so Tairn is a character. I don't want to do too many spoilers. So if you're really interested in reading Fourth Wing and you don't want to hear too much, just let me know. But he's a key character in, I'll try not to spoil it, he's a key character in the series, and he's quite a snarky, because they can communicate with dragons in the series, so he's quite a snarky, sarcastic dragon. He's kind of like the alpha dragon. He is the biggest dragon. Just do this little part. And from the looks of like the sketch, it looks like, you know, it's like two dragons with a child. That's not the story, if that makes sense. The three kind of pivotal dragons in the story. I've still not read Quicksilver. I really need to read it, Alex. But yeah, all three of them are really pivotal. I can't even get the word out. Key characters in the story. So yeah, Tairn's kind of this sarcastic, very strong dragon, and he's mated with Sgaeyl, who is the second dragon down here. Now this isn't their child, this is just another dragon in the series called Andarna. Andarna, am I pronouncing that right? I don't know. I'm just going to go with that because that's what I've been calling her. But yeah, I'm now recovering from the flu I had last week. I had such a croaky voice last week. I was watching the footage back and I was so embarrassed. And it's like I literally had a coughing fit midway through. I had to press pause on the stream. I was like, but yeah, it's all like the flu spreading around the office at the minute. But we've now just broke up for half term, which I've just mentioned. And I'm trying to focus a little bit on being creative and getting some work done, being productive. My R2 painting is getting picked up on Friday, which I'm so sad about. Yeah, anyone who obviously follows me on Instagram will probably have seen the R2 painting. I've posted a lot of pictures and videos of R2, and yeah, it's going all the way to the US. It's going to be shipped on Friday. It's going to be picked up on Friday and then shipped. And I am so nervous about like the international delivery. It's the first time I've actually done like an international commission. And yeah, I think because I've had it a while now, because painting R2 has kind of been a bit of a learning curve for me, because it was one of the first large scale paintings that I've done, that I've completed to the point of varnishing and things like that, and working out the varnish was so hard for a large scale piece, because by the time you get across the painting with your varnish, it starts to dry, and you obviously need to do it different directions. So it's been a bit of a learning curve, figuring things out. But he looks really good, like, if I say so myself. I think, yeah, when I see him and C-3PO, which is behind me at the minute, when I see him and C-3PO together, I do feel a bit sad about splitting them up. And I do feel when I paint a piece, because I spend so much time with it, I do get a little bit connected to it, and I don't want to get rid of it, especially these large scale pieces. But I am obviously happy to see it go to the client, which is nice. Let's go like that. Now I am obviously going to get some of these lines off. But what I normally do is I try and get as much of the sketches that I can in there, take a step back, and then view it as a whole. And obviously I can, sometimes what I do as well is I will take a picture of it, go into Procreate and overlay this sketch onto this one and kind of look for any abnormalities. I did that with Catwoman. So there's a little trick for anyone who is thinking about doing it large scale. But I also think it not being too perfect's fine, because it gives you more room for creativity with the painting. To be honest, I love painting Star Wars pieces, so I could sit and paint I've got so many ideas for Star Wars. The next large canvas, which is over here, actually no, you can't see it in shots. I've got another canvas the same size as this one. And I want to paint General Grievous as well. And with it kind of being the anniversary this year, I think that'll be really good. Kind of getting that eye in there. I do think I need to angle it a little bit more in that direction and make him look a little bit more evil. But yeah, I would like to paint General Grievous, and I was kind of umming and ahhing about Grievous or Maul. I mean, I do like changing projects as well because I love fantasy. I'd love to do some kind of Lord of the Rings themed paintings as well. I'm not a fan of landscapes, but I'd love to do some kind of Lord of the Rings themed landscapes. Let's see. Got a bit of a scale here. But yeah, I think obviously I mentioned earlier as well that I was going to be working in black and white on this piece. So I'm going to paint it all black and white because I've seen some really cool all black and white pieces that I kind of want to experiment with. Because I do, obviously everything I painted recently has been very bright in colour. So I want to try like a monochromatic piece and see how that goes. But yeah, I think if I'm unhappy with it, one technique that you can do with oil painting is you can paint in monochromatic colours, black and white, and then you can actually paint colour over it, which is really, really cool. I think I've drew this eyebrow a little bit too. That's a little bit better. And see, when you're working on it bit by bit like this, you're like, what the hell is it? Let's go there. I still need to watch I've been re-watching Game of Thrones, but I still need to watch season 2 of House of Dragon as well. I've not yet watched that. I'm a big fan of that as well. I think anything with dragons. I love Lord of the Rings. Alright, so let's maybe add in. I might put in his nostril. Yeah, I feel like I enjoy House of the Dragon, but I don't think it's as, I don't know how to describe it. In comparison with Game of Thrones and kind of all the dramatic scenes that happen in that, I don't think it compares, but I do like the characters. I love Daemon in it. Oh. See, this is kind of, when I place in the nostril here, I'm just going to give myself some little markers. Let's see. Let's go from, so you can see here, like I've got this line, but I think I've drew it too far over. It should be a little bit more here. Let's go with that. And then depth-wise, it probably goes to about here. So we're going to kind of like angle it like that. We've got one nostril. Okay. But yeah, I mentioned obviously like Tairn's personality earlier, so Sgaeyl, who is the second dragon, she's known for being quite vicious, and Tairn is he's black in colour, so I was really excited to paint him anyway. But Sgaeyl is kind of a blue colour, which would complement well with the black actually if I did choose to paint it in colour. But the little Andarna at the bottom, she is gold in colour. And I just didn't want to, I don't know if I just didn't want to overcomplicate it with colour, I don't think. Okay. Now I am worried about getting the mouth wrong, that's the part that scares me. Because if you get the mouth wrong, it ends up just looking so weird. When I was drawing Catwoman, drawing the facial features, she's one of the first large scale paintings I've done of a person. Hold on a second. I've just realised you guys can't see that part, so I'll work a little bit higher for now. He's got some lines that go across here as well. I don't know why, but I was like extra nervous about this stream today. I was fine last week, like really ready for it, but today I was so nervous to start. And I'm just kind of going through, I know a few people have asked about it being uploaded to YouTube, so I was just being like, I can't get my words out today. I was just reviewing the footage first before I get it on. Oh my God. I've made an account now, well I've got an account on YouTube anyway, so I'm going to start uploading any live stream footage to there. So obviously anyone who wants to catch up or misses it can watch it. So I'll be uploading a video of like the full streams that I've done previously. Is what I meant, sorry. Oh, right. Yeah, I was nervous about the, well, bit of both really. I'm nervous about the stream, particularly today. I don't know why. I feel like the time's just gone so quick today, so I haven't really mentally prepared. I was really relaxed last week because I had like 2 to 3 glasses of prosecco before it. So that probably helped. I think I need to do that in future. Just down a few glasses of prosecco before I start. Right. Some lines in here. I think the thing is as well, I'm nervous about this piece because I think I've drew it out and then I've realised like how much detail is actually going to go into it. And sometimes I'm a bit of a like perfectionist when it comes to the details. I find it hard to stop. But just fix this. Detail excites me, but it also does make me nervous. Because there's so many different intricacies, like the scales. Oh, I'm so sorry. Is that working okay now? Oh, fabulous. Sorry, I've just been chatting away to myself then. But yeah, I think what I want to encourage on the next stream is maybe get people drawing along with me. I'm just moving on to this tile now, so it's a lot of scales. Yeah, I think in next stream I'm going to try and encourage people to do something creative along with me, and then I can like share what they're doing on my story. I don't know what you guys think of that so far. Again, it's very basic. When you're mapping out a painting, you obviously don't want to spend too much time going into great detail about on a sketch that you're going to cover up. Okay, let's add in some of these scales then. So the scales are the part that I'm stressed about most because they're obviously going to be very time consuming to complete. But yeah, I particularly love dragons. Why I wanted to paint dragons is obviously because of the book, I've mentioned that, but I do just love dragons in general and mythical creatures, and just I'm a big fan of like dinosaurs and things like that as well. Let's add in a little scale here. Yeah, I think with the detail, it is so hard to get so sucked into it. I just, I think for me, I try and get the sketch done quite quickly. Obviously, it is time consuming, but I try and get it done quite quickly because I'm more excited to lay that first layer of paint down and stuff. And every time I start it, the first few layers of paint, I always end up hating the piece. We all go through those ugly stages. Thank you. It is starting to look, I think the nose looks a little bit wide at the minute from my perspective. But I think later on I'm just going to try and get as much down as I can, and then later on I'm just going to take a step back and see where I'm at. But yeah, I really love this dragon's character, and I think that's mainly why I wanted to paint them. I think I drew that a little bit too big. Put that down a little bit. Let's bring that there. And it's like this, like the rough sketch stage of the piece is what I find the most boring. It's like I just want to get the paint down. Sometimes I'll sketch and I'll like enjoy the process, but when I'm being really meticulous and trying to get it perfect, I think it stresses me out. I mean, the good thing about the scale kind of part is that you can kind of wing it a little bit. It doesn't have to be too perfect. It's more just these particular scales here are kind of, they shape the face a lot. So I'm just going to try. And get the angle of these perfect and kind of like the shape around the face. But then I can be a little bit more loose with it, if that makes sense. But yeah, I'm thinking I might do a stream on Wednesday. I'm not too sure what time yet, but I might actually ask the question on Instagram and see if there's a particular time best for everyone. And I just have to kind of keep the momentum going with the streaming as well, because I mentioned to a few others on the last stream that I can't upload videos or anything like that to Twitch. For people to view until I've obviously done so many hours streaming. And I'm still halfway through this book, so one of the characters, the smaller dragon at the bottom here, she's like a little gold dragon at the beginning. I don't know if we can see that well. It's hard to figure out the angles. So she's like a little gold dragon, but she's just gone into like a deep sleep, which the dragons in this story do for when they're growing. And I'm not too sure, because I have not read, I'm only halfway through the book, I'm not sure what colour she's actually going to be as an adult, so I'm excited to find that out. No spoilers. I've been trying to avoid spoilers so much as well, that's why I'm trying not to talk too much in depth about the actual storyline, in case there is anyone who wants to read it. There's nothing worse than spoilers. I hate it so much. I remember, because obviously I work in education, I remember one of the students ruining Avengers Endgame. I was so angry. But it's like with a lot of fantasy books like this, they become so popular and talked about on Instagram, and people will create like a lot of reels about the characters and things that are happening. And I'm trying so hard to avoid spoilers. I don't know if you guys can see how big his head is at the minute. I need to figure out like the best way to stream something this big. Right, so we've got another little scale here. That in. And then this joins up to scale over here, so that's more rounded. I think one of the worst things about me as an artist as well is I lack the patience. I just want to be finished. I have an idea in my head. And I just want to be at that finish point, and I'll get quite, what's the word? Frustrated, and I'll probably take a break from the piece at some point because that's kind of perfectly in the middle. I think it'll probably take me a couple of hours to sketch it out. Yeah, probably a couple of hours. Some parts I'll probably get to a point where I'm like, oh, and I'll carry on drawing and just try and get it done quick. Hi, Jenny. You okay? Right, I'm getting confused what scale I was up with now, Jenny. Sorry, you distracted me. This one. Let's draw that there. I feel like when I'm sketching things out as well, I am a lot more focused on trying to get it perfect. So I'll probably be a little bit quieter than I am on my painty streams. Why is it not your fault that you're late, Jenny? No, I appreciate you coming on and chatting to me. Jenny, I think you would love this character, by the way. This dragon. Go up here a little bit. Now I think my measurements of the grid was like slightly out. But it is what it is. I think it's a little bit, the last box at the top's a little bit shorter. Let's zoom that out a little bit. I put on a lot of these, you like free streaming music, that's like royalty free streaming music, and a lot of it's like really depressing, so I am sorry. Try and find some. It's quite relaxing, to be fair. Do get into the drawing a little bit better. Alrighty, a bit of this again. I just need to fit is the outline of his head now here. Now I'm not using any kind of fancy pencil. I just picked up the nearest pencil on the shelf as well, so I'm not too worried. If obviously you didn't want your painting to smudge, you can set the pencil, you can spray it before you start painting, but it's not really a bother to me. Okay. I feel I find myself drawing it too big as well, so I might have to, because there's a point maybe here. This needs to go up a little bit. And the good thing about painting over it is I can just paint over the mistakes. Right, let's grab this part. It goes there, and then I've got some scales. You guys are just getting my inner monologue at the minute because I'm so focused. It's looking cute. Draw this here. Here. Yeah, I feel like it's it's a lot of pressure drawing knife. I feel like, because I can't I don't know how to describe it. It's such a big piece, so I feel like I can't because I'm trying to show everyone the process as well. Yeah, I'm trying to, it's really good that I'm sticking to each individual tile and keeping it proportionate though, because that's obviously a big part of this method. But yeah, when I'm sketching it out, I don't really put in detail per se. I try and map out shapes, because obviously when I approach painting, I just break it down into shapes when I start before I add any detail.
10 minutes is a long time to be away
Give me a second. Yeah, I think it's important when you're painting that you don't focus too much on the details at first. It's all about blocking out the shapes with the different colour tones. And then just trying to get this. But yeah, I think originally, again, drawing out the sketch first and mapping it out, I think it takes the pressure off a little bit, because I feel like I'm kind of just mimicking what I'm seeing rather than having to get it anatomically correct or detail it too much. Let's go with that there. So these scales here. It's like when I'm drawing so many scales as well, I'll be looking at it for a while where does the next one go? And have I already drew that one? Right, that's the one I need. I need to add some let's go with... See, I'm confused on what ones I've already drew. About that one. And then I don't know why I've drew this. Ah, that's that spot. Okay. I figured out where I am. Right, so I need another scale here. Yeah, I feel like when you're copying it out, you do lose perspective of where you're at and what you've drew already. So I got a little bit confused then, that's why I was a little bit confused. And sometimes I'll obviously not draw it exactly the right scale. So I'll be like, is that one? I found my way back to where I was. Alright, I feel a bit more confident with where I'm going now. So, this one. And with these scales, it's like, where does this, like I'll be looking at which one lines up exactly with another. Don't know what this was. But yeah, I really enjoy obviously showing everyone like the full process, because you can see the mistakes that I make. I feel like sometimes I'll look at artists online, and a lot of the time like on Instagram obviously you only see their final piece, or you know, like different reels of a final piece, and it can make you like second guess yourself and your own abilities, if that makes sense. So I like to see other people's progress. And there's a painter that I follow at the minute that always shows like each stage of the painting, including like the ugly stages, and I just feel like that makes me feel a lot better. So I think this project in particular, yeah, it will be primarily on stream. I don't think I'll be posting much, like, I might post now and again on Instagram, because obviously I have to keep the algorithm going, which is so frustrating. Especially with me, because obviously I've mentioned a few times that I work full time, trying to keep the momentum, because you have to post like a few times a week to keep that algorithm going, and for even like your own followers to see your work. Quite frustrating. So I'll be posting now and again on Instagram, but I feel like each step by step will probably primarily be more on stream with this. And to be honest, it's one of the reasons why I started a new piece for streaming. Because I think it's nice to flip between projects as well on these, so you get a bit of variation. Let's go like that. Because obviously the last two streams we've been painting Vader. But yeah, I feel like I just wanted to show a little bit more of the process. Just get this little bit in here. bit of here. But yeah, I was saying today, I was actually talking about it today, that I just want to be creating more and more content. So this actually is a way that motivates me to keep doing that. Okay. Let's draw this little bridge of the nose. And I might stay on a little bit longer tonight as well, because I do need to build hours on this streaming platform. And I'm just going to carry on drawing as much as I can on stream today. I always feel so much pressure as well, like when I'm streaming, that I need to talk the whole time, but I think sometimes if I was watching someone draw, I'd probably just want to watch the progress. I'm liking how that's looking so far. So you can kind of see here, like the shape is starting to take. It's hard to obviously see on the angle as well, so I'm gonna have to figure out it. I am thinking of ordering like a better camera rig so I can put it over me, like over my shoulder, and angle it down. But the stands that I have at the minute for them, they're like fixed. So you'll just have to deal with me moving it about. Alright, so let's finish this little part of the head. Put a little bit here. Oh gosh, no, not ASMR. Do you know, I actually hate those ASMR videos where it's people sketching and you can hear it. Some people really like it, or it's like people chewing, or they're scratching against the canvas. I don't like it, I don't know why. But then other people might. That was the line I was trying to find earlier. Okay. Now what I might do actually is, give me 2 seconds. Now it's things like the eyes, or what I found yesterday when I was obviously sketching it out is it just feels like it looks stupid until you've got every aspect of it in. And I think it's quite easy to judge your progress early on. And again, it's just a rough sketch. That's what I need to keep reminding myself. I might do really quick though. So I think I am actually gonna, timing wise, I might have to cut it there. I think I'll finalise with that. I might carry on off camera and see how much I can get done today. Again, that's really, let me see if I can show you guys a little bit better. I don't want to knock this wire because it's the worst thing. So you can kind of see there his face. But it's again, it's such a small fraction of the design. I've got so much more to get in there, and I feel like it's really hard to show on this camera as well. So I think what I might do is I will obviously post some stills on Instagram and things like that, and I might even try and post, when I post this to YouTube, I'll try and pop some at the end of the video as well. But yeah, I think I'm going to cut it there today, guys. Thank you so much obviously for watching. I appreciate anyone who comes on stream, chats to me, gives me some support. Obviously, hopefully we'll soon be at this stage. I think I might try and finish mapping it off camera and then the next live stream on Wednesday will probably be me starting to paint it, which will be really exciting. Thank you, I'm so excited to share it with everyone. But yeah, thank you again. I've had a few technical issues today, so I appreciate anyone who has obviously sat through it and stayed with me. But thank you so much, and I'll see you guys later. Bye!